Yo, what's up guys, it's Akil here, and today I'm doing a versus video, basically. I can compare two things and see which one I like more. So now I've started doing something like this. I'm not trying to rip them off, I just don't know about it, because the internet's kind of a big place. Let's get started. So we're going to be versus reviewing the Epic Mario Bros. Movie and the Epic Mario Bros. Movie remastered or remake. Let's start with the plot. Okay, so I don't have enough time to do a whole summary of both plots, so I'm gonna go over some differences between the plots and say which versions I prefer. Now, this isn't the entire movie yet, so if I seem just because it looks like I like one way more than the other doesn't specifically mean that. Okay. Part 1. So even the first scene is different, as in the original, Mario was at Yoshi's school because that's what was going on in Epic Mario Bros. At the time of the original movie's release. And Bowser Jr. insulted Mario, but so after school, Mario went to Bowser's castle and just wrecked everything there. No one defeated him because he was so awesome. In the remake, Mario was chasing Bowser and Bowser Jr. because Bowser was stealing Luigi, so I prefer the remake because that's, makes a lot more sense, makes Mario a lot more likable. So that's good. Okay, so the second difference is when Mario / Mario and Luigi return home in both movies, they learned that the evil alien Vilox that they had defeated in a duel a year before has returned. In the original, they find out because there was a letter that he had sent to Bowser in their mailbox for some reason. So they went to investigate with that. Well, in the remake, Vilox went on TV and was like, "Come and join my army at this place at exactly this time, because I'll be destroying the world and tearing it, what's left of it, into my empire, like by tomorrow or something." Something like that is what he said. Alright. So I prefer the original method because, it seemed like he was scouting the planet for a while. He knew who were the bad guys and who were the good guys, who was going to join him, who was not going to join him. He had the right idea. Yeah, well, in the remake, he was just like, "I didn't do my research, so I just go on the TV and hope someone says yes." That's what it felt like. So, in the remake, they added some scenes that were either started in the later parts of the original movie or weren't in it all. Namely, they explained in the remake why Bowser wasn't mind controlled, unlike in the original version, which is basically Bowser can't be mind controlled. So good for Bowser, he can't be mind controlled. Props to him. Everyone gives him props. There you go. Yeah, good for Bowser. And they also explained why the ship was crashed. It was because they needed a new power source, which wasn't explained to part 2 of the original version of the movie. Part 2. So, I kind of like both versions of part 2's first difference, which is basically, big difference, I guess, is once Mario gets out of the ship in both versions, without Luigi, because he got captured, he goes to find his friends and go and face off with the aliens once more. In the original, he goes back to the school and gets Yoshi, who helps him recruit others for the Resistance. Well, in the remake, he finds Peach, and she helps him recruit others for the Alliance. Kind of similar, kind of different, like both versions. Next. In the remake, Bowser challenged Mario and the Alliance to a fight in the forest before they got back to the ship, which wasn't something that happened in the original version at all. The original proves that the fight was very unnecessary, but it was a very cool fight. So indifferent to it. It could happen, it could not happen. Either way, it works. Okay, after that, okay, next point. So, in the both versions, Toad figures out an idea on how to get in. In the original, he gave Mario and Yoshi costumes to sneak in to the spaceship while he distracted everyone with his rapping skills. Well, in the remake, he used a Nerf blaster and took like 100 tries and hit a security camera so they could sneak in. I prefer the original because, it was sneaky and practical costumes, not trying to shoot at a security camera. So, yeah. Okay, so part 3. Again, I'm gonna remind you, this isn't the whole movie, and it's my opinion. So, okay, this is just talking about differences, so you don't have to yell at me. Please, don't do that at all. First section. Both versions, Mario's friends, they're trying to figure out how to get to the now airborne spaceship to help them out. In the original, they ended up using paper airplanes because the Luigi's Mushroom Kingdom can allow for that. Well, in the remake, that idea shot down and instead replaced with random spaceships out of nowhere of randomliness. So I prefer the original because it's more explained. Second sequence. Okay, maybe it's not exactly a giant change, but I prefer the way that they get Bowser on to, wanting to, betray Vilox and, stop him and everything in the original version than in the new one. Okay, so third part. Now, it's two factors to this because it's in the same scene. Okay, so basically, both versions of the movie, Luigi is being used as a power source, and if he is removed, the giant space weapon cannon super thing will start the shoot the planet and destroy it process if Luigi's removed. Both versions bar removes him, of course, because, well, Luigi's his brother, why would he not do that? In the original, once they do that, they only have 10 minutes to get out. Well, in the remake, they have 20 minutes before the cannon fires. So, I prefer the original because it's more tense. And besides that, I find the dialogue in that scene to be a bit over the top in the remake. So, I prefer the original version in that part. So, fourth thing. Okay, so when Mario goes to confront Vilox by himself, because, well, everyone else either can't fight or is too tired to fight anymore, Vilox monologues to him a little bit before they start the battle. But in the remake, Vilox does a lot more and kind of explains some stuff in the movie too, which was a bit much because I didn't really think Vilox is the kind of guy that would monologue that much, and wasn't not exactly necessary to explain stuff that was going to be explained in the future movie, basically. Okay, final part. So, first major difference. Luigi goes to confront Vilox in both versions after Vilox says on the intercom that he's ended Mario on both versions. In the original, when Luigi gets there, he finds Mario barely still alive. And it's really touching scene. It's really nice, I think, anyway. Mario's like, Luigi, you must go and be the hero of the Mushroom Kingdom. You have to stop Vilox for me. Go, please. It's really nice. I like it a lot. But he's unable to do that in the remake, which is pretty sad, for reasons I shall explain in a second. But my second point is that in the remake, Vilox uses a mind control way, which is kind of weird how it works. I'm not going to go into detail on that. You did it to Mario. So now we have a mind-controlled Mario versus Luigi. I'm not really a fan of this type of idea, so I just don't play like it. Vilox is right there, and he already told Luigi how the mind control works. Just go over to him, Luigi, and just stop it. It's that simple. So the final major difference after the movie in the remake, there's post-credit scene where it shows a prelude to the movie 2 that's already come out, which is cool, but I think it messes up the timeline slightly because I think Violax came back too soon according to what everything else you've said about it. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some more category things now that we're done with particular parts in the movie. So, action. The action's pretty good in this. Like, in most Plush things, action's pretty good stuff. Now, the only particular place I can say either version of the movie is better is the first fight sequence in part 1 of the movie. I prefer the original version where Mario storms Bowser's castle and just wrecks everyone, all of his minions in Bowser and Bowser Jr. compared to the remake, which is just Bowser Jr. So that's just about that. Special effects. In the original, the Mario Bros. Used practical and some edited in with editing software special effects. Well, in the remake, they only used edited in effects. Now both ways are really cool. Though, if you're listening to this F Mario Bros., use more practical effects in the future, because there were some special effects used in the remake that didn't exactly work as well as their practical ancestors. Main example would be the glowy eyes of mind control people. In the remake, when someone is not a mind control person isn't looking at the screen directly, you can still see their eyes and they're not glowing. So you should probably use some practical effects for that. Characters. Okay, so I'm not exactly going to a specific character category because I like both ways because their personalities are wrong subject. I don't have time. Short, sweet. The remake most of the time has way better dialogue than the original version. Though I do like particular moments in the original version more, such as the already mentioned Bowser example from part 3 of the movie, and from part 2 of the movie, when Mario and Luigi go into the ship. In the original, Luigi seemed to me anyways like he way cared about his brother and his own well-being. Well, in the remake, he only cared about his own well-being while he was in the ship. So during the part 2 sequence. So that's that. Because I forgot to make another slide for some other segments. So first off, the music. The music in both movies, both versions of the music, are incredible. Because most of the soundtrack is usually standard Nintendo music because it's Mario Plush. That's how you do it. But there are some original tracks in the remake, at least. This one, called Sinister Aftermath, is actually one the F Mario Bros. Made themselves for the remake of the movie, and it's pretty cool. So credit goes to them for the song that you've been hearing for the reveal. Okay. So, some other random things. I think Luigi's imprisonment in the original was a bit more sinister because he was stuck in a box, a super tiny box, and his powers being drained. While in the remake, he was just taped to the wall. Well, not literally taped to a wall, but he was just stuck in a wall. It didn't seem nearly as painful and cramped as the original version was. So, okay, let's go that. Okay, so to end this thing off, I like both versions of the movie. They both have their upsides and their downsides, and their left sides and their right sides. They're good. They're good. They're both pretty good. Work can still be. There's still plenty of room for improvement, though. So if you're watching this, F Mario Bros. Remember, it could still be better. Better plots, more use of practical effects, better dialogue. So yeah, so just remember to work to further improve yourself. I have to go now. Don't forget to comment, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. Peace, frog mates. See you later.